of last year, so 2017, and I'm sure a lot of us in this room got her 4 a.m. text messages like, "Hey, what are you doing?" like we're all up at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Right? Can we discuss? No, not 4 a.m.
And so I get it, at 6:30 in the morning. I'm looking through, and she's like writing me paragraphs and paragraphs. She wrote to me over a year ago. I didn't want to text because I didn't know when you usually get up. It's not at 4 a.m., just letting you know. And it's Sunday. Hopefully your kid's sleeping later than mine. I was thinking, when I blow this pop stand, would you want to bring me back to the city sooner than later, depending on how I'm feeling, to do a little shopping? I'm thinking a fancy lunch is a must. Who knows? I really don't, but maybe it will include a glass of vino, wishful thinking. So I think we've done a lot more than just shopping trips in the city in the last year. We've had a lot of really special times together, and I feel so lucky to be a part of this whole thing with you. I remember backing up even further than that, when you first started talking about that you weren't feeling well. And I think it was like November or December of the year before. And we thought, oh, you need to eat more, or you're working
Sleep
out too
more.
hard, or your kids are driving you crazy. Don't be such a good mom. Lay on the couch, whatever it was. And then you start, I have an autoimmune disease, so I was like, maybe you have lupus like me or something, And I remember when you went to the hospital and you had your biopsy, and I think they took the marrow and tested it. And I came to your house that day, and I visited you with a bathrobe and tea. And that's when Mike got the call. And I was there, and we were just chatting, and he came out of the dining room, and we heard what was happening. And I heard it, I think, for the first time with you guys, and I didn't know what to say or do. And I remember Mike just had this look of like, all right, what do? We got to go to Rush, we have to go to Northwestern. And I remember leaving you guys that day, and I was like, holy shit, it's not any of those other things that we talked about, and reality hit, and just carrying that with me that day. But anyways, enough of that. I think that you've been this example to everyone in this room of what it means to have like perseverance and determination, but also doing it with grace and positivity. I know you've had dark moments. I know that it's been probably a very private thing with you, because I've never, maybe once or twice, experienced that with you, but, entertaining terrible thoughts or whatever, but you've kept it from us, I feel like, even though we know that must be what's going on in your mind. And I feel like when we're with each other, it's not about what's going on with you, it's about everything else. It's about what you're doing with your kids and your family, and you're just such an inspiration. And so I think that, unfortunately, this terrible situation, through it, you've given everyone in this room a gift at some point, and it's the gift of perspective, and causing us all to kind of stop and say, like, wow, you look at your spouse a different way. And I can't imagine, Mike, the strength that you've had in this last year. I don't know what my husband would do, and anybody in this room, looking at your wife, knowing what she's going through and what that means for your family, what it means to be not only a spouse, and how you look at your partner, but also more patience as a parent. And there are days that I didn't want to play with my kids. I didn't want to take them to the park. But then I thought, God, like, Kate's taking Connor and Grace to the park. What the hell is my excuse? And you just kind of embrace those opportunities a little bit more than you would have normally, and just not putting off things, because your age doesn't mean anything. There's no guarantee of time or health. And without your health, we know that nothing else matters. Doesn't matter what you have, where you go, what job you have. When you don't feel well, everything stops, everything. And the only thing that really matters is something like this. What's going on in this room is your friends and your family, and your friends become family, and getting through it. And I think what you also gave me was, I hadn't prayed in probably over 20 years, and I think the first time I did was that night that you guys were at Northwestern for the first time. is the first time that I prayed in I don't know how long. So I think small miracles are possible because of you. And so I do want to quote someone, Winston Churchill. He's just my guy. But he does say something about, like, when you're going through hell, you just keep going. And I think this has been kind of a hellish year for you. But we're all with you, and we will gladly keep going with you for whatever the rest of this journey means. You have the support of everybody in this room and hundreds more in our community and across the country, people far and wide. So we're all here for you, no matter what that hell means. Hopefully it's more happy times, but we're so proud of you for this milestone of completing this last year of your treatment and what the future holds for you. And we're just so fortunate to have you and be your friend, and we love you.
Here.
And I've talked too much.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
That was beautiful. Cheers.